will float down into the end zone, and it will be down there. And we can bring you up to date on the NFC playoff picture. Let's start with the NFC, where we can tell you one team, of course, is in. We know that, San Francisco. What about the others? 4 other teams will go. The Giants are in as well, as no worse than a wild card. 3 of those 4 make it. There are 128 possible scenarios remaining. The Rams in 122 of those would be in, meaning they've got a great chance. Philadelphia has a great chance to be in either as a division champ or a wild card. Minnesota controls its own fate. There they are in red. Green Bay, of course, needs help. They have to win and have Minnesota lose, basically, for them to get in. Tony gets back to the line of scrimmage, though there is a scenario where Green Bay and Minnesota could both lose, and Green Bay could be in as a wild card, if you can follow that. But the key for Green Bay would be a win and a Minnesota loss. But there it is again. Rams in great shape. Eagles in great shape to make it to the playoffs. Minnesota needs to beat Cincinnati or have Green Bay lose to Dallas, and in they go next week. So that's the NFC, which is pretty simple. We will get to the AFC.
Get out your calculator.
Yeah, when we've got about a half an hour. 2nd down and 10. And Anthony Toney gets wrapped back by Wayne Martin.
Now one follow-up, Al, to what you're talking about here in the NFC, and of course that concerns us next Monday night. How would you like to be the Minnesota Vikings if Green Bay goes ahead and beats Dallas, which throws the onus right onto the Vikings? Of all the teams, how would you like to have to beat Cincinnati to get into the playoffs? I mean, the way Cincinnati dismembered Houston yesterday, I don't know that may be more than the Vikings can handle. That's a load.
And in a scenario where it didn't mean anything to Cincinnati, perhaps even tougher.
3rd down and 10 from the 20-yard line, and Cunningham throws it up for grabs pretty much, and it's grabbed by Waymer. And he is down at the 42-yard line. Picked off by Dave Waymer.
And there's just no way that you can defend Randall Cunningham throwing a ball like that up in the air. That's strictly a very talented player trying to do too much, trying to make too much happen.
He shook his head as soon as he put that ball in the air. He knew he should not have done it.
Yeah, that's a very sophomoric toss by Randall Cunningham, who's better than that.
4th Eagle turnover. Ted Plum, the offensive coordinator, discussing that with him. Cunningham fumbling twice. 2 interceptions tonight. Waymer, as you saw, tying Tommy Myers' club record with his 36th career interception. And New Orleans has it at the 42 with 10:50 to play. Forcade, a little dump off screen to Dalton Hilliard. Brown can't take him down, but he slows him down enough for Evans to make the tackle. But I believe a 1st down, and it is at the 47-yard line. They give him the spot. 1st down.
Well, what a good job by the offensive lineman of the Saints, not crossing the line of scrimmage. That screen took a while to set up, and they were really on top of where the line was, stayed behind it.
I thought they would be for a moment, Dan, but you're right. They stayed on it.
You got
this
Trapillo,
took longer than it should have taken.
Yeah, you got Trapillo and Hilgenberg coming out there, and boy, they really feathered it coming down the line, and Hilliard, of course, doing nothing new for him.
47-yard line. Hilliard to the 40-yard line. Wes Hopkins bumps him out of bounds on a good hit after a 7-yard gain.
What a shot by Wes Hopkins. That's how a safety comes up and throws his body into him. Of course, Wes has been doing this for a while too. Boy, that's just perfect. That's altering the course of a running back against his will.
Your basic physics, weight, mass, velocity. Not only Hopkins, Andre Waters, the other safety back there, will really unload on you. Both of them often are called upon to play just like a linebacker in the Ryan defensive scheme of things.
2nd and 3. Here's Hilliard. Whoa! The 1st down. Boy, oh boy. What did he run into? Well, he ran into the Brown and Evans tandem for starters.
Clyde Simmons was in there as well, too, I think. Wow.
Seth Joyner.
But his forward progress is close to a 1st down. He'd gotten down to just about the 37 before he was thrust back. And thus we'll have a measurement with 9:42 on the clock.
And right now is the point of the game where the Philadelphia Eagles start looking up at that scoreboard. We've moved inside 10 minutes, 9:42 to be precise, and they're trailing by 3 points, and New Orleans has the ball. And they need a win to stay even, at least record-wise, with the Giants. We've documented the fact they beat the Giants twice. I mean, this is about the time you start to tighten up a little bit. Just crank it up a level or two and say, hey, wait a minute, we're on the verge of blowing this, and we can't afford to blow it. Let's send Buddy to the pack of gum.
Third down, inches at the 37-yard line. Here's Hilliard, and it's going to be real close.
Ooh, I don't think he got it.
No, unless they give him a great spot.
I hope they find him.
And what do you do on fourth down?
Well, when you're out of it, when you have nothing to lose, a lot of, I guess, it would be easy for Jim Mora to say, let's just go for it. Now, Jim Mora, during the regular season, if the Saints were still in it, in this situation, as conservative of a coach as he is, I don't think there's any question he'd punt the ball away. But they're going to go for it,
and they better get on with it.
Meanwhile, after some confusion on the sideline, there's the play clock now. You see it down to 10 seconds as they line up on 4th and inches out of the I formation. And they get the play off. It's a little toss to Hilliard. First down. At the 36-yard line. And the clock keeps on rolling down to 8:40.
You know, it's difficult to crawl inside a guy's head and say that this is what he would have done and what he didn't do and what he wouldn't do, but you guys agree with me? That's not a typical Jim Mora call.
I totally agree, and I think it would have been the right thing to do. And again, 7-7, they're going nowhere. He's got a very emotional team playing out here at the moment. A team that's going nowhere. They're going to be home for New Year's for certain. No playoff possibilities, and they are all of a sudden stoked up. They know they're playing before the entire country, and they're playing just out of pride. They are professionals.
First and 10, 35-yard line. Out pattern. Martin makes the catch. He has a first down. Breaks one tackle, but not a second. Taken down at the 17-yard line.
Well, that's just one of the obstacles the Eagles have to try to overcome, playing a team that is reckless and loose and relatively carefree, but again, you have to praise the Saints. This is a ball club that is just playing good football. Eric Martin, who appears to have gotten over his second quarter mistakes, stays in bounds, keeps the clock moving, and picks up another New Orleans first down.
Yeah, but Dan, that was also a defensive mistake. You saw Andre Waters trying to get back into the coverage. He'd got himself caught inside. Eric Everett was off about 15 yards. Easy completion.
Eric Martin for the year on that catch, now over 1,000 yards. At the 16-yard line, it's Hilliard to the 14, and they're chewing up the clock. 7:10 remaining.
First time tonight they've chewed on it.
Yeah, they've been content to nibble.
They've just been sniffing around it.
New Orleans on top again. The Giants would lead by a game, but then the Giants have a game against the Raiders in the Meadowlands on Sunday. The Raiders are still alive. They're still in the playoff contention, even though their chances are somewhat slim.
They better bring the Woolies out.
Yep.
She is frosty back there.
The Eagles play Phoenix at the Liquorless Vet on Sunday. 2nd and 8 from the 14-yard line. And the catch is made by Martin at the 8-yard line. Short of the first down by 2. And a third down coming up.
Hey, this young man has... A lot of people didn't know anything about him until tonight. Telecast last week against Buffalo, just basically coming back here. But they have learned a lot about him tonight. He is a courageous, gutsy performer.
You know, you're talking about what has to happen this coming weekend. I think the Giants have a lot tougher task than the Eagles. If the Cardinals play anything like they played in that 37-0 whitewash to the Broncos, Philadelphia should have a relatively easy time with Phoenix.
3rd and 2. Forcade firing, and is there a flag? Yes, there is. All kinds of contact. And Martin turns around. I'm not